news and commentary you can use. What is this on my shirt, y'all? Well, it's something. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, we're gonna, here, let me just do this. All right, hope everyone is doing well. We're gonna make a slight adjustment here. Hope everyone is doing good. I'm gonna share this so you all will know that I am live. I hope everyone is doing well. All right, maybe that's a little bit better. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Whatever it is. Maybe I waved something on there earlier. All right, so I thought it was very important that I come on and do this live. Let me just share. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me get set up here. I finished dinner and now I am live. All right, let me see. Here it is here. All right, let me share this. All right, there we go, y'all. All right, thank you all so much for your support. Let's see, let me share so that you all will know I'm live, okay? All right, so I did share this. Okay. We're gonna be getting started in just a minute, y'all. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, I want to say welcome still. And thank you so much for your continued support. I am Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, back, as I say, to bring you news and commentary you can use, okay? Tonight's topic, I want to tell you about some things that are coming that you need to know about that could potentially affect you, okay? So I did put, you know, it's important for you to know this information that I'm sharing. Hello to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you all so much for being here. Some very important information I want to share with you, okay? So please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Like this video. That way it will also let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me as well, okay? Let me get this up here. I hope you all are doing well. It's still very much hot outside. It's a heat wave, so please make sure that you are staying hydrated. You know, that you're taking breaks, that you're not allowing yourself to get overheated. Okay, just getting everything set up here. Giving everyone some time to join us before I get started. I'm going to talk about 3 topics tonight. I'll try not to keep you all very long. All right, y'all, there are some things that are happening. Thank you again for your patience as I get everything set up right here on my screen in front of me. I'm a little late coming on. I apologize. I was finishing up dinner, but I am here, okay? I have three topics that I want to discuss. I'm not going to keep you long. All of these topics could potentially affect you, so I thought it was very important for you to know about it. These topics are also topics that may not be headline news, but as I told you all, one of the reasons why or the inspiration for creating my channel here on Andrea Speaks TV is because, there's so many things that happen. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to tune in. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The inspiration for creating my channel was that, there's so much news, so much information that's being pushed out to us. A lot of times it can be very challenging or difficult to determine, okay, what information do we really, really need to know? Like, they're saying this, they're saying that. They said this yesterday, they said this today. Now they're talking about this. Okay, what exactly do we need to know? So I have 3 important stories that I want to talk to you about. Actually, I may bring on a 4th one. You all let me know. Do I need to talk about 3 topics or 4? Okay, very important. Let me see if there's another one that I wanted to. Oh, actually, I may do 5, y'all. I want to bring these to your attention and let you know some things that are going on. Okay, thank you all so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you. That's letting me know that you can hear me as well as see me. So I really appreciate your support. Okay, you all let me know while I'm getting these last 2 stories added. Let me know, how is the weather in your area. In Georgia, it's super hot. And just as much as possible, trying to stay cool, trying to stay hydrated. Okay. You all please let me know how the weather is in your area. I hope that you're doing well. And I hope that you are taking care of yourself. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to add another topic to tonight's. It's so much to talk about, y'all. There's so much to talk about. When I come on and say, you know what, I'm going to talk about these. Really, I was only going to talk about 3, but now I thought about 2 more things that I need to tell you all about that you may or may not know about. So I want to, bring this to your attention. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me see. I want to make sure that I bring the most up-to-date topic. Okay. I'm telling you, yes, okay. Yeah, super hot. North Carolina. I just recently went through North Carolina. I'm telling you, watering your garden. I talk about that also it seems like you have to water your garden more than you normally do, at least for me. I try to they say it's best to water like in the early morning before it gets cool, and then maybe even in the late evening, so you may want to do that as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. I'm having trouble finding my information on one of these topics, but let's talk about rice. Okay. Raise your hand in the chat or say yes in the chat if you eat rice. Okay. You all have heard me talk about rice being one of the staple items in your emergency food supply. Y'all, if you have not been stocking up on rice, or if you have not been not only stocking up on rice, or buying rice, putting some rice away, you just may very well be in trouble. Okay. I want to bring you some news out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay. Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yes. Okay. Someone said, yes, they eat rice. I eat rice as well. I'm pretty sure most people eat rice. I believe. Okay. I can't say 100% for sure, but I believe most people eat rice. Listen, y'all. Okay. I told you all that, many months ago, I've been talking about this now for many months, even some years now, okay, at least 2 years now. And I've been telling you all about with this whole, war in Ukraine, what's happening, alleged war in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia and everything that's going on over there, right? That it could potentially lead to grain shortages, your rices and things like that. Well, here's some news out of Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay, hello to everyone watching. Thank you all so much. Listen, y'all, they're saying that rice shelves are empty at some North Texas stores. Let me explain why. Okay, now, even though I'm referring to an article out of the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, apparently this is something that is happening in other parts of the country, even possibly other parts of the world. So I want to tell you about it. Okay. Now, according to the article, the world's largest rice exporter. Okay. I'm going to talk about that as well. A country, right? The world's largest rice exporter imposed a new ban on one of its most popular grains and has intensified fears of inflation and shortages. Okay. Now, let me say this before I get further into the article. The information that I'm reporting is so that you, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to cause fear or fear mongering, right? Instead, what I want to do is make you aware and say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's coming. So you can make a plan to protect and provide for you and your family. Okay. So according to my news source, the world's largest rice exporter imposed a new ban on one of its most popular grains and has intensified fears of inflation and shortages. The restriction on non-basmati, I hope I say that right, basmati rice, let me start over. The restriction on non-basmati white rice went into effect immediately after the announcement last Thursday, okay? Over the weekend, this news article is saying that stores across Dallas-Fort Worth, over the weekend in stores across Dallas-Fort Worth, customers cleared the shelves and waited in long lines to stockpile bags of rice, okay? Here is the president of India Bazaar, which is the article says is a South Asian grocer with headquarters in Plano, and 10 stores across the Metroplex had this to say, and I quote, they really wanted to purchase 10, 12, 15 bags. Okay, you got people going into the store, right, trying to buy 10, 12, 15 bags of rice, okay? And this person was also quoted as saying, and I quote, it was a really crazy situation. Now, listen, y'all, you may be wondering, okay, who put demand in place? Like, what's really going on? The article says that basmati or basmati white rice makes up about 25% of India's rice exports, with the U.S. listed as one of its top, with the U.S. listed. Let me read it again, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Thank you to everyone who is joining. Thank you. Thank you. Please make sure you like this video. That will also let me know that you can hear me and see me. If you're just joining us, please make sure that you, after this video is over, make sure you go back and rewatch it, because I'm talking about 5 very important topics, things that are going on that are not necessarily headline news that you need to know about, okay? So I do encourage you and I do ask you to watch this video in its entirety, okay? Basmati white rice makes up, and let me just spell it in case y'all are not clear about what I'm saying. That's BASMATI. Non-basmati or basmati white rice makes up about 25% of India's rice exports, with the U.S. listed as one of its top export destinations, okay? According to India's government, the ban is an effort to regulate prices and increase supply within the country, okay? While the ban does not include organic non-basmati white rice, customers have left those piles nearly untouched, okay? Listen to this, y'all. Now, you know I talk a lot about organic eating on the channel, so listen to this, okay? Here's a quote by the person that I referenced, the president of the India Bazaar, who said, and I quote, "Organic is almost a 60% price difference, okay? For regular, it is $15. Then you are paying almost $25 to $30 for organic, okay, y'all?" Right away, I'm already thinking, not only are there potentially going to be rice shortages, but not only rice shortages, but we could possibly expect the price of rice to increase, okay? So as you all are watching and listening, please let me know, are you all seeing shortages of rice in your area? That says a lot. Yes, I agree. That does say a lot, you know. It seems that organic food, I'm not saying it should be this way. It's kind of crazy because you would think that all food that they put out would be organic, but we know that's not the case. But, you know, organic food is normally, from at least from what I have seen and experienced and paid for, organic is normally more expensive. But that big of a price difference, 60%, that does say a lot. I agree. Okay. This person, the president of India Bazaar grocery store or grocer, was also quoted as saying, and I quote, "I really want to tell all the customers to not panic. Just buy what you need. We will have enough rice." Okay. The article also says that in the U.S., grocers, including India Bazaar, expect to see an increase in prices. Okay. All right. Let me say this again, y'all. Expect to see an increase in prices. Okay. Wait a minute, y'all. Some of y'all don't hear me. Hold on. I got to get my microphone. Why didn't I have this on earlier, y'all? Let me get my microphone on, okay? I'm talking about some very important things that you all need to know about. I don't know if y'all are listening, okay? Are y'all listening? Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Now, you all know, those of you all who are new to the channel, and those of you all, well, those who have been around a little bit longer, you all can attest to the fact that I have, you know, when I come on and I share information like this, I'm talking about it at a time where people may not really be talking about it. Just like, for example, how I brought you all coverage very early on about the shipping container crisis and the supply chain crisis. Fast forward months later, now the shipping crisis or supply chain crisis is headline news, okay? Let me turn on my microphone. Testing. Can you all hear me, okay? Let me know. Can you all hear me? Are you all able to hear me with the microphone? Okay. I had to cut my microphone on because I need you all to hear what I'm saying. Okay. Listen to this, y'all. Again, I repeat, can you all hear me? Okay. Let me know. Can you all hear me? Put yes in the chat. Let me know that you all can hear me. Okay. I need for you all to hear what I'm saying. This is very important. All right. Again, I'm going to read it again. I hope I'm not too loud. You all please let me know if I am too loud. Okay. Now, if you would like to, thank you. Okay. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so. Okay. I have the channel does have a Cash App, and it is $Andrea Speaks TV. Okay. Just like how the channel is spelled. Okay, so I do appreciate your support if you would like to continue to support the channel. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Rice. Okay, we're on here talking about rice. the potential rice shortages. Okay, people are panic buying rice in, for example, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we have the president of, it seems like, India Bazaar grocery store chain, I believe. This person is pretty much issuing a warning, okay? Listen to this, y'all. This person had this to say, and I quote, after two or 3 months, the shortage will come, Pabari said, okay? Pabari, the person's name is Anand Pabari, president of India Bazaar Grocer, okay? Again, let me quote. This person is saying, after 2 or 3 months, the shortage will come, but for now, I think we are okay, okay? This is what the person is saying. We are working with the Indian government also to see if they can release some rice, all right? Listen, y'all, okay? I asked this question a long time ago on the channel, like, where does rice grow in the United States? You know, normally you hear about it coming, you know, from other countries, but because, and I think someone did say, and I actually did my research about this, and I saw where there are some parts of the United States where rice grows, but for the most part, we have to rely on exports of rice, okay? If I'm not, or imports is coming into our country, we have to rely on rice to be imported for the most part. So right now, it seems that, you know, our country is really at the mercy, for lack of a better term, of, you know, relying on the major suppliers of rice, paying whatever price they're charging, accepting whatever they're willing to send. Do you all see how this could create some challenges for us here, at least in the United States? That's where I am, possibly even in your country. Listen to this, y'all, okay? In the U.S., this is the sentence I was about to read before I got my microphone, okay? In the U.S., all right, grocers, including India Bazaar, expect to see an increase in prices. And while shelves were wiped clean by customers, Pabari said there is not a shortage, okay? I'm going to put my microphone down now so I can talk, okay? Economists with the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, have also asked the Indian government to reconsider its export ban. All right, for now, Pabari said he has made large orders of non-basmati white rice with domestic vendors, okay? Here's a quote that says, we have our parent company who also imports rice. It's called Grain Market, and they also have a warehouse here in Dallas, okay? Thank you all so much for supporting me here on the channel. I appreciate you all. Listen, Pabari also was quoted as saying, we don't want our customers to be left out, so that's why we put a limit on rice, okay? I gotta say this in the microphone, y'all. Rice limits could be coming, okay? Can someone put that in the chat? Rice limits. So I want you to say, or if you will put this in the chat, okay? Rice prices will increase. And these are some things I want you to take from this article. There could potentially be rice shortages, okay? 2, the price of rice could potentially increase. And then 3, there could potentially be rice limits. Okay, this is what you need to know about, y'all. That's pretty much what I want you to know about the rice. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and move on to the next topic. But the next time you go in your grocery store, I want you to go over to the aisle that sells rice, and I want you to just look around and check out, you know, are you noticing any shortages? Excuse me, I also want you to look around and see if you notice the price of rice has increased. And I want you to see if there are, in fact, limits on how much rice you can buy. Okay? You all, please let me know. Is this information helpful? Did you learn something? Were you even aware of this? Okay? All right, y'all. Let me see. Just quickly, I'm going to search. I don't see, not to say that there isn't any, but I don't see any articles right away about rice limits. Let me do another quick search, okay? So please make sure next time you go in your grocery store, your local grocery store, limits on the purchase of rice. Okay, let me do a quick search. Okay, someone in the chat said, yes, not aware. I'm glad that I was able to make you aware. Okay, these are things that are happening. Like I said, they're happening, and it's not always headline news. Okay. All right, y'all. So I cannot confirm any other than what I talked about in the article. I cannot confirm at this time any limits, any stores that are limiting how much rice you can buy. But I will be going into the grocery stores to check this out, and I'll bring you all some more news and coverage on that. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's move on to our next topic. There was a tornado recently. Okay. There was a tornado recently that hit the city of Rocky Mount, I believe, North Carolina. I actually went through that area recently, before and after the tornadoes occurred. So before I even talk about this story, I want to pray for those who were in the. I want to say that I pray for those who were in the path of the storms. I pray that they are well, that they be well, and if there's anything that they need, that their needs will be met. Okay. Listen, y'all, I want to talk about what happened in the, I believe it was the Rocky Mount, North Carolina, parts of North Carolina area. And I want to talk about how this could potentially affect others, even those who are not in the area, okay? Now, according to my news source, okay, a tornado severely damaged a Pfizer, that's Pfizer, Pfizer pharmaceutical plant site in North Carolina, causing drug shortages nationwide, okay? The article says that the drug manufacturer, reportedly told hospitals that dozens of its products could face supply disruptions. Okay, did you all hear what I said? You didn't hear what I said? Let me cut the microphone on, okay? A tornado severely damaged a Pfizer pharmaceutical plant site in North Carolina, causing drug shortages nationwide. Okay, now you all know, those of you all who have followed the channel, I've gone into the stores and I showed you how at one time there was a shortage of medicines, medications, over-the-counter medications. And so now what they're basically saying, y'all, is because of this widespread damage to this Pfizer pharmaceutical plant in North Carolina, there could potentially be drug shortages coming, okay? As a matter of fact, the drug manufacturer, the article says, reportedly told hospitals that dozens of its products could face supply disruptions, okay? Here's a quote by Sinai Hospital pediatric oncologist, Dr. Yoram Unguru, who had this to say, and I quote, "We are truly at a crisis situation now." I got to say this in the microphone, y'all, okay? We have a doctor at a hospital, okay, who is saying that due to the tornado damage to the Pfizer pharmaceutical plant site, okay, that could potentially cause drug shortages nationwide, okay, not just in North Carolina, nationwide. That's including potentially my state of Georgia, your state, wherever you're watching from, okay? You all please let me know what state you're in, by the way, okay? And thank you for supporting the channel. Listen, we have a doctor from a hospital who's saying, and I quote, "We are truly at a crisis situation now," okay? Dr. Unguru said the tornado ripped through a warehouse. Listen to this, y'all. The tornado, now speaking of tornado, haven't we been having severe weather, unusual weather, a lot of times just seem like out of the blue weather, unusual weather patterns. What's really going on with the weather, y'all? Now, the doctor, okay, Dr. Unguru said that the tornado, talking about the tornado that hit the area of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and other surrounding areas, is severely damaged this Pfizer pharmaceutical plant in North Carolina, causing drug shortages nationwide, okay? Unguru said the tornado ripped through a warehouse storing raw materials, packaging supplies, and finished medications awaiting delivery to hospitals across the U.S. Okay. What's clear? Okay, here's a quote by the same doctor who said, and I quote, "What's clear is the Pfizer plant supplies a significant percentage of drugs, mainly from this class of sterile generic injectables, to U.S. hospitals." Okay, right. North Carolina near Charlotte. Okay, I did remember seeing those signs as I was, passing by that area. Okay, the shortages, the article says, will largely affect IV drug solutions and pain medications. Okay. Um, the doctor said, think about people who come to the emergency room who are dehydrated, people who need IV solutions, which is pretty much every patient getting surgery. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Okay. So if there's anyone, who, for whatever reason, you have a scheduled surgery, this is something that you need to know about. Okay. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, but you know how people, they have whatever situation they have going on, they schedule their surgeries and things are scheduled there. They have to schedule to have a surgery. There's a different procedures and different checks along the way before it actually gets to the surgery. So, this is why this is important, y'all. They're also saying, this doctor also was quoted as saying, think about a family member who, hold on one second. Yeah, think about a family member or friend who's having surgery and has pain. These are IVs, not pills, but these are staples, okay? According to U.S. Pharmacopoeia, I hope I said that right, a group that tracks the drug supply chain, the plant made about 150 medicines, including fentanyl and morphine for pain management and anesthetics for surgery, okay? They're also saying, it said half of the drugs made at the facility are on the Food and Drug Administration's essential medicines list. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Okay. Half of the drugs, according to the news source, half of the drugs made at the facility in North Carolina that was severely damaged, the Pfizer pharmaceutical facility that was heavily damaged, severely damaged by the tornado. The article is saying that half of the drugs made at the facility are on the Food and Drug Administration's essential medicines list. What do y'all think this means? Medicines that are essential for surgery, pain, okay? It seems like, based on what they're saying, there's going to be a shortage, right? Dr. Unguru also said the situation is also impacting a chemotherapy shortage and forcing doctors to be even more selective in how they allocate medications. Now, I got to say this in the microphone, y'all. Okay, did you hear what I said again? Dr. Unguru, again, we're talking about the Pfizer pharmaceutical facility in North Carolina that was severely damaged by the recent tornado, okay? Dr. Unguru is saying that the situation is also, so not only is it potentially causing drug shortages, okay, specifically those drugs that are IVs, drugs for pain management, anesthetics for surgery, is also, according to Dr. Unguru, also, the situation is also impacting a chemotherapy shortage and forcing doctors, listen to this, y'all, and forcing doctors to be even more selective in how they allocate medications. So what I take from that is that there could potentially be some people who are not even getting their right amount of medicine or the correct amount possibly because of the need to allocate medications due to this shortage caused by the recent tornado in North Carolina. Okay, you all, please let me know your thoughts on what I'm reporting here on the channel. I want to say thank you all for your support. Okay. The doctor also said, and I quote, "It concerns me that we are so dependent on one or two companies that have a very consolidated marketplace that all it takes is a natural disaster." Okay. What do you all think about that? Do you all agree or disagree with him? University of Maryland Medical System, the article said its drug shortage team is also monitoring the situation, okay? Someone in the chat said that priority will go to the highest bidder. That could very well be. There may be some, who will still, due to whatever reason, be able to get their supply. Some people may be preferred over others. And I would hate to think that it would be like that, but hey, you never really know, right? As they can say, money talks, okay? So again, y'all, I wanted to let you know. So Andrea, what do you want us to take from this? Again, due to the tornado that happened in North Carolina, severely damaged the Pfizer pharmaceutical facility. You can everything that I'm reporting on, you can research and look up as well if you want to, know more about what's going on. It is going to potentially cause supply chain disruptions, medicine shortages, specifically those medicines used for anesthetics for surgery, pain management, even chemotherapy, the article mentioned, okay? So please keep those things in mind. If you or someone is having surgery, again, I'm not trying to scare anyone, okay? But I want to make you aware that these are the things that they're saying. Hospitals have already been pretty much warned that, this is coming, this is happening. And so I just want to make you aware, okay? We're going to move on, y'all. We're going to keep moving on. We've been live now for over 30 minutes, so I don't want to hold you all too much longer. I do need to talk about this with you all, okay? BRICS, okay? BRICS. I want you to do some research about that. I'm actually going to do some more research as well, but I want to bring some information about BRICS, okay? Have you all ever heard of BRICS? BRICS, BRICS. Okay, please let me know yes or no in the chat. I'm still learning and researching as well, so I don't have all the answers. I'm actually learning. I'm learning along with you as I share this information, okay? Let's see. All right, listen to this, y'all. So the article I'm reading asks the question, how long will the dollar last, the American dollar, last as the world's default currency? Okay, the BRICS nations are gathering in South Africa this August with it on the agenda, the article is saying, okay? BRICS, 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 okay? De-dollarization, is that coming? Is the how do I want to say that? There's someone in the chat said de-dollarization, or is the devaluation of the dollar coming? That's the question I want to ask. Listen to this, y'all. Could a new currency be set to challenge the dominance of the dollar? Perhaps that may not be the point. But listen to this, y'all. Now, in August 2023, the article is saying, in August 2023, South Africa will host the leaders of, now here, BRICS is an acronym, right? BRICS. Here's what BRICS stand for. You have Brazil, Russia. So it's the first letter of each of these countries' names, okay? BRICS, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, yep, someone saying in the chat, India, China, and South Africa, okay? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, okay? We have 5 countries, okay? Let me read into the mic, y'all. Listen, in August 2023, next month, right, just a few days away to be August, South Africa will host the leaders of Brazil. Do y'all hear the countries that I'm naming? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. A group of nations known by the acronym BRICS, BRICS. Among the items on the agenda, the article is saying, is the creation of a new joint BRICS currency. Oh my goodness, y'all. Now, I told you that FedNow is here, okay? If you have not watched my coverage about FedNow, what I'll do is I'll put some links in the description for you or in the comments so that you can go and watch these videos. But is the dollar in trouble? Okay, are they coming together to create a new currency that is going to overtake the dollar? As far as, the dollar being kind of like the, how can I say it? The standard. I don't know if that's the correct term. Maybe y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen, y'all, okay? Rising interest rates, okay? Rising interest rates and the recent debt ceiling crisis in the US have raised concerns among other countries about their dollar denominated debt and the demise of the dollar should the world's leading economy ever default. Think about it. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Let me say this again, y'all. Okay, thank you to everyone tuning in. I see more of you all are joining. I appreciate you all. Rising interest rates, okay? Rising interest rates and the recent debt ceiling crisis in the US have raised concerns among other countries about their dollar denominated debt and the demise of the dollar should the world's leading economy ever default, okay? That all said, okay, a new BRICS currency faces major hurdles before becoming a reality, the article says, okay? But what currency discussions do show, according to the article, is that the BRICS countries are seeking to discover and develop new ideas about how to shake up international affairs and effectively coordinate policies around these ideas, okay? Do you all think that this is coming? Listen to this, y'all, okay? With 88% of international transactions conducted in US dollars. Wait a minute, I got to say that in the mic. The article says that 88, so just to give you an idea of how, remember how I couldn't think of a better term, maybe you have one, you can share it in the chat. Remember how I just said that the US dollar is kind of like the standard? Maybe that's the correct term, I don't know. But listen, y'all, what I mean is, or what I'm actually referring to, the reason why I say that, the article says that 88% of international transactions conducted in US dollars and the dollar accounting for 58% of global foreign exchange reserves. The dollar's global dominance is indisputable. Did y'all just hear all of what I said? Let me say it again, y'all. For the people in the back, I'm going to say it again. Listen. With 88% of international transactions conducted in US dollars and the dollar accounting for 58% of global foreign exchange reserves, the dollar's dominance is indisputable. Yet, the article says, de-dollarization, or in other words, reducing an economy's reliance on the US dollar for international trade and finance has been accelerating. That means it's been speeding up, y'all, following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Think about that, y'all. But can somebody tell me, what is Bidenomics? Okay, I hear that term. I'm not clear on what that term means. But does Bidenomics have anything to do with, or does the de-dollarization, does that have anything to do with Bidenomics? Could someone tell me that? I don't know. I hear that term and it sounds like a great thing. I don't know if it is or not. But when I look at the state of our economy, rising interest rates, inflation, the job market, there are some people who are still looking for jobs, job shortages, labor shortages, people getting laid off of their jobs. Our country still sending money overseas. Not to say that I'm not saying that people should not get help. That is a humanitarian thing to do, to help countries, people of countries, who need assistance, whether it's war-torn, disaster, situations like that. But by helping other countries, are we hurting our own country? I'm just asking the question, y'all. Please let me know your thoughts. In 2023, here it is, 2023, and we're talking about the de-dollarization. Reducing an economy's reliance on the US dollar for international trade and finance. And they're saying that it has been accelerating following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Okay. Now, listen to this, y'all. The BRICS countries, the article says, have been pursuing a. I'm going to cut the mic off. The BRICS countries have been pursuing a wide range of initiatives, the article says, to decrease their dependence on the dollar. Listen to this, y'all. Over the past year, okay, Russia, China, and Brazil have turned to greater use of non-dollar currencies. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Listen, y'all, over the past year, Russia, China, and Brazil have turned to greater use of non-dollar currencies in their cross-border transactions. Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, okay, are actively exploring dollar alternatives. Now, these are not even countries that are in BRICS, right? You got other countries that are not BRICS, the BRICS nations, who are looking at other dollar alternatives, y'all. Sound like the dollar is in trouble. What are y'all thoughts on this? Please let me know your thoughts. And the article says central banks have sought to shift more of their currency reserves away from the dollar and into gold. Gold, it seemed like, really stands the test of time, y'all. Just even from my research, I see more and more. They're even saying, not necessarily countries, but even individuals, and maybe even some companies are putting more of they're purchasing gold, okay, because it historically tends to hold, value and even increase in value, right, compared to the dollar. Listen to this, y'all. All the BRICS nations, the article says, have been critical of the dollar's dominance for different reasons. Russian officials have been championing, I can't even say this word, y'all. Russian officials have been championing de-dollarization to ease the pain from sanctions. Okay, remember how everything going on with Russia and Ukraine? Countries, including the U.S., put sanctions against Russia. And so they basically had to, seem like maybe no choice but to, move away from U.S. currency. Now, because of sanctions, the article says Russian banks have been unable to use SWIFT, the global messaging system that the article says enables bank transactions. And the West froze Russia's $330 billion in reserves last year. Okay, do you all find this information to be helpful? Please let me know. Meanwhile, the article says the 2022 election in Brazil reinstated Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva as president. Lula is a longtime proponent of BRICS who previously sought to reduce Brazil's dependence on and vulnerability to the dollar. He has re-energized the group's commitment to de-dollarization and spoken about creating a new euro-like currency. These are things that are going on, y'all, that are not necessarily talked about, okay? The Chinese government, the article says, has also clearly laid out its concerns with the dollar's dominance, labeling it, and I quote, the main source of instability. Listen to this, y'all. Now, I got to say this in the microphone. Let me cut my microphone back on. All right. The Chinese government, the article says, has also clearly laid out its concerns with the dollar's dominance, labeling it, and I quote, the main source of instability and uncertainty in the world economy. Think about that, y'all. That doesn't sound good at all, does it? Is de-dollarization coming? That's the question I want to ask. Now, the article also goes on to say that Beijing directly blamed the Fed's interest rate hike for causing turmoil in the international financial market and substantial depreciation of other currencies. Together with other BRICS countries, China has also criticized the use of sanctions as a geopolitical weapon. The appeal, the article says, of de-dollarization and a possible BRICS currency would be to mitigate such problems. Experts in the U.S. are deeply divided on its prospects, the article says. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen believes the dollar will remain dominant as most countries have no alternative. That's how she feels, y'all, according to what the article's saying. She believes the dollar will remain dominant as most countries have no alternative. That's what she's believing. Okay? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I actually honestly don't know. I'm like I said, this particular topic, I'm learning as I report on it. Yet, listen to this, y'all. A former White House economist sees a way that a BRICS currency could end dollar dominance. What I wonder what the consequences would be for the end of dollar dominance. Okay, I may talk about that in a completely separate video. But again, y'all, this is the gist of this particular article. Is de-dollarization coming? Okay, we have a meeting that's coming up at the time of this video. It's July, towards the end of July. There is a global meeting, okay, coming up of the BRICS nations. Again, BRICS. Could someone tell me again in chat in the chat? BRICS, the countries of BRICS. There are 5 that I named. The BRICS nations are going to be gathering in South Africa in next month, August 2023. And according to this news source, okay, on the agenda, they're going to be talking about possibly introducing a BRICS common currency, okay? I'm going to follow up on this particular story and give you all some updates, okay? So far tonight, we've talked about potential rice shortages, okay? Rice flying off the shelf in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. How the price of rice is going to increase, as well as there could potentially be, thank you so much. That's right. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Thank you. We also talked about how there could potentially be limits placed on how much rice you can buy. Talked about panic buying in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We talked about how the tornado that happened in the North Carolina area, specifically in the area of the Pfizer pharmaceutical facility, how there was so much damage that it has caused potential drug shortages. Hospitals have been alerted. And we just talked about BRICS, okay? The BRICS nations, those being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're getting ready to meet next month, August 2023. And on the agenda, according to sources, okay, they're saying that they're going to be discussing a potential common currency among these BRICS nations, okay? Now, I also want to talk about this. This kind of ties in with rice shortages as well. But I also want to talk about this deal, okay? Hold on one second, y'all. Let me... I want to read some information to you, okay? Maybe you know about this, maybe not. I want to talk about the Black Sea deal, okay? I want you to do your research on that if you're interested, and what it means for global food security. Let's see. Let me keep going. The Black Sea deal, okay? Hold on. Let me see where I want to start reading, okay? The global food supply is fragile, y'all. It's very fragile, especially with the ongoing alleged war between Russia and Ukraine. When the war started, food prices shot up overnight. My source says this is because these countries supply a significant amount of the world's grain and fertilizer, or the materials used to make fertilizer. Now, a while back, I reported on the fertilizer shortage. I have a video about that. Maybe I need to link that as well in the comments. Listen, y'all. All of this was so serious at the time that the United Nations brokered a deal that would ensure grain and fertilizer could still be exported even while the countries continued to fight. Now, okay, more recently, Russia has actually terminated its part of the agreement, saying that the United Nations has not kept up its end of the deal, okay? And the situation is escalating very quickly, okay? The consequences, my sources say, will be felt immediately in impoverished countries, but there will be ripple effects across the world. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Now, the history of the Black Grain Deal, again, that is the Black Sea Grain Deal, I'm sorry. In July 2022, the UN, United Nations, and Turkey brokered the deal to allow grain to be shipped from Ukraine to impoverished countries in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, even while the country was in war with Russia. Okay, this is because Ukraine is the world's 5th largest wheat supplier and one of the world's top 3 exporters of barley, corn, or maize, M-A-I-Z-E. I think that's the same as corn, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And grapeseed oil. Okay, the Black Sea grain deal also allowed Russia to ship food and fertilizer, even though they were sanctioned by the West. Essentially, my sources say the grain deal provides guarantees that ships exporting food and fertilizer will not be attacked when entering and leaving ports. Okay, the Black Sea grain deal was set to be extended after 4 months. It was renewed multiple times. Okay, however, Russia started complaining about the deal in October 2022 because they did not feel that they were benefiting. At this point, the article says the deal had been renewed every 2 months instead of every 4 months. Okay, y'all follow along. On July 17, 2023, just recently, Russia announced it was terminating its participation in the Black Sea grain deal and will not rejoin unless its demands are met. Okay, Russia has said that the United Nations never held up its part of the bargain. They did not lift sanctions on goods exports as was promised in the deal that was reached in Turkey last year. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres admitted as much in a statement. Okay, Kremlin spokesman, the Kremlin spokesman said, and I quote, "When the part of the Black Sea deal related to Russia is implemented, Russia will immediately return to the implementation of the deal." Okay, now my sources say that with Russia no longer participating, it cripples the food supply chain once again. I'm going to say this in the microphone, y'all, okay? The food supply, the global food supply, okay, once again is crippled. Let's see. I want to kind of skip over some parts here. They just have some different quotes here. The ministry also warned, okay, so let me read this part. The Russian Foreign Ministry said the decision means, and I quote, "the recall of maritime navigation, security guarantees, the discontinuation of the maritime humanitarian corridor, and the reinstatement of the temporarily dangerous area regime in the northwestern Black Sea." Okay, the ministry also warned, and I quote, "all ships proceeding to Ukrainian ports in Black Sea waters will be considered as potential carriers of military cargo." Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Okay, in response, let me see who this is right here. Okay, in response, hold on, let me see who this quote is by. Just a minute, y'all. Let me see. In response, Kyiv, KYIV said they would be, I'm sorry, let me start over. In response, KYIV, Kyiv, said they would do the same. Any ships bound for Russia would be considered military cargo ships. Okay, in other words, what does this mean? Ships are in danger as they enter or leave ports in the Black Sea. Okay. Just recently, Ukrainian President Zelensky accused Russia of attacking grain infrastructure in 2 Black Sea ports and said that 60,000 metric tons of farm products were damaged. Okay. At the time of my news source, they're saying that the actual damage of farm products, they haven't been able to confirm that. Listen, y'all, this sounds like some trouble for the global food supply. This sounds like trouble concerning our global food supply. Okay, please make sure that you get the foods that you need. Stock up on your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Anticipate potential price increases. Anticipate potential shortages. Yes, I will go back and post these links. This is some good information. Okay, I'll do that. Listen, y'all, the article says, while Ukraine can send grain via other routes through Eastern Europe, it cannot send as much, okay? Plus, the article says the routes are more difficult and costlier. Higher transportation costs means higher food costs, okay? I told you all that even concerning the shipping industry. If they have to pay more to ship these items, via alternate routes, alternate methods, they're going to pass that cost on to, consumers like you and I. Okay, let me see if I can post some of these links. There was a request to post some of the links in the chats. Let me see if I can do that now. All right, here's the one about rice shortage. Let me post that. All right, this one was from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All right, hold on just a minute. Thank you all so much for tuning in. All right, let me see. All right, so one that I posted was about the rice shortage. I may have, okay, let me see. Okay. All right. And the one that I was just currently reading, let me see. I have a separate link that I'll send for that one. Okay. The food supply chain, y'all, it seems like I've said this before. It seems like there is an attack on our supply chain. Not only, I'm sorry, on our global food supply, and I can talk about that in many, many ways, right? For example, growing our food. I talk about even now, it just seems like, this heat, this severe heat. How is it that, and I'm a little bit off topic, but not completely. How is it that all over the world, it seems like now, hello everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in. How is it that all across the world, right, people are dealing with this extreme heat temperatures, so much so that some people are losing their life, okay, due to, heat stroke, heat, just severe heat. I'm going to put that information in the chat. If you all would like to contribute to the channel, support the growth of the channel, I'm going to put the channel's Cash App information here, and I appreciate you all's support, okay? That's going to be, if you all would like to support the channel, it's $Andrea Speaks TV. Okay? I put that there in the chat as well. Okay, so thank you all so much for your support. Listen, y'all. Hold on just a moment here. Okay, let me see if I can make it a little bit easier to read. And again, that's Andrea, Andrea Speaks TV. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for your support and for supporting the channel. Okay. Solutions. What are some solutions? What can we, a lot of these things are out of our control, y'all. You may ask, well, what are some solutions? Again, do we really want them? Do we want to have to depend on them to feed us? My answer would be no. You may have a different answer, and certainly you're entitled to your own opinion. But listen, y'all, make sure you have food. Make sure you have emergency food supply. survival needs. Make sure you have water as a part of your emergency food supply and your survival needs. Stock up on emergency food, seeds. Y'all, you know, on my channel, I have a gardening playlist. I have a home garden. Going back talking about the heat, you know, it's so hot, y'all, that it almost, for some, it could be very discouraging to start gardening. There was someone here who shared in the chat, you know, about having to water your garden, or, you know, saying that there was a concern. Let me see if I can go back to the comment. Can't water my garden enough. I completely feel you on that, because, you know, it seemed like almost as soon as you put water there, it's like it, you know, the soil is basically going dry almost. So having to, you know, take steps, preparation out to maybe offer some help with that. You may want to think about not only watering in the morning, in the evening, also adding mulch, wood chips, pine straw. I would advise using like the plastic rubber that they sell, but using mulch, pine straw, wood chips. You can do your research on that, but that will also help retain moisture as well. Okay, hope that helps. Um, Also, having a network of people that you can communicate with, which should include local farmers, local gardeners, people that, you know, for whatever reason, if there are limits at your grocery store, or if your grocery store says, hey, we're just simply out of that, you know, try to do some research for your own local area. Find out, you know, are there any farmers markets? Are there any farmers that sell? You know, you just want to have a network of people, not only in farming, people that can fix cars. You know, think about the essential things that you will need. Um, by no means is that the only list, but, you know, you want to build a network. Who can you go to if, you know, you need something essential done, an essential repair, some type of essential service? Okay, I hope that I'm sharing information with you all that will actually help you. Okay. Let's see, how many stories have I talked about? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one more story that I need to cover, and then we'll be through. Okay. Thank you all so much for your support. Listen, I want to, you know, with everything that's going on, y'all, we also have to take care of ourselves, right? We have to take care of ourselves. Not only should we be prepping, having our emergency food supply, our survival needs, but we should also be taking care of ourselves. How many of you all know that, you know, there are so many different illnesses and viruses and things, you know, sicknesses, diseases from like years ago that are just popping up out of the blue all of a sudden? Did you all know that? Anybody aware of that? I've talked about some here on the channel. Those things are coming back around again, y'all. And it's like, where is it coming from? Not only am I asking the question, where is it coming from, but I look at the timing. Not only am I asking, where is it coming from? How is this popping up all of a sudden out of the blue? But why now? The timing is very concerning. Okay. I want to share a story with you. Give me just a second here. Let's see. All right, give me just a moment here. All right, you all please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you are enjoying the content of the channel. If you're watching for the first time and you haven't subscribed, I would like to invite you to subscribe and join our community here, okay? If you're someone who, like myself, you're concerned about the times that we're living in, you're seeking truth, transparency, real solutions, then I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, okay? Let me see. I'm trying to pull up this one last article, and then we'll end for the night. Give me just a second, y'all. Hold on. I want to talk about something related to our health here. All right, give me just a moment. I had it up earlier. I'm just trying to find it again. Here's something else, y'all, okay? Let's see. Let me make it so that I can. All right, let me just bring it up closer, okay? Listen to this, y'all. A shortage of penicillin, okay? A shortage of penicillin to treat a skyrocketing. Listen to this, y'all. Here's something else, okay? Y'all ready? A shortage of penicillin to treat a skyrocketing number of syphilis cases is so dire that U.S. health officials are debating the need to declare a public health emergency. That's according to people familiar with the matter. Now, they didn't say their name, okay? They just said people familiar with the matter, okay? Y'all didn't hear me? So I got to cut the microphone on, okay? A shortage, according to my sources, y'all, according to my sources, a shortage. Are y'all listening? Are y'all there? Let me knock on the phone. Are y'all still with me? I know it. Now, here on the East Coast where I am, it's 10:37 p.m. But I need y'all to hear me. A shortage of, here's something else, y'all, okay? A shortage of penicillin to treat a skyrocketing, this is according to the article, y'all. A shortage of penicillin to treat a skyrocketing number of syphilis cases is so dire that U.S. health officials are debating the need to declare a public health emergency, according to people familiar with the matter. Listen to this, y'all, okay? Major U.S. medical centers are rationing the recommended treatment for the deadly, I'll just say STD, y'all know what I mean, okay? Because of a supply crunch. From Michigan to Missouri to Texas, some healthcare providers are prioritizing giving a key treatment, okay, penicillin G benzathine, to pregnant patients and babies because the drug can pass through the placenta and also treat the fetus. Okay, thank you. Y'all, syphilis, the article says, has been sickening more people over the last few years, but the latest surge in cases, the article says, has been especially worrying to the federal government. The Department of Health and Human Services is mobilizing a new, listen, y'all, this is what they're doing. The Department of Health and Human Services is mobilizing a new federal task force to tackle the problem. And staff are discussing the possibility of declaring a public health emergency, which could give officials access to more funding, more spending, y'all, to address the crisis, according to people familiar with the matter, okay? Here's a quote by the assistant professor at Washington University in St. Louis's medical school who treats syphilis patients, who had this to say: this is a remarkable shortage, okay? Because of the need to conserve the drug for pregnant patients, other people are getting less than ideal treatments for the infection, okay? Y'all, I don't have to read too much more into this, but again, y'all, something else is going on, okay? In this particular topic, it's about syphilis. They're saying that the number of cases is rising. However, the medicine to treat this is, in low supply, so much so they're having to ration and give a certain group. Seem like pregnant patients are the priority. The article does say that the government's efforts are being led by Assistant Secretary for Health Admiral Rachel Levin, according to one of the people who asked not to be identified. Okay, I know they didn't. Do you think they really want us to know this? Okay, who asked not to be identified, discussing private information. Levin has spent months recruiting experts to tackle the syphilis crisis, including officials at HHS, which is Health and Human Services, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Food and Drug Administration, which has been brought in to address ongoing drug shortages. Okay, so another drug shortage. Y'all, earlier when I talked about what happened in North Carolina, we talked about drug shortages from the Pfizer pharmaceutical facility that specifically dealt with pain management, anesthetics, things like that, right? Even with chemotherapy. Now they're saying that the syphilis drug, the drug to treat syphilis is in, there's a shortage with that. Okay. 11 U.S. health officials at the CDC are weighing the benefits of the public health emergency declaration, such as the additional flexibility and money it would give HHS. One of the people said they're also considering the potential drawbacks. Some are wary that a pandemic fatigued public may consider it an overreaction and ignore similar declarations in the future. Ultimately, the article says the Health and Human Services Secretary has the power to make a declaration. Okay, they did conclude by saying the department is closely monitoring the alarming rise in cases of syphilis and will continue working to address this public health threat. Okay, now again, y'all, I asked the question. Now, I don't know. I'm just really learning about syphilis. Sounds like one of those, sicknesses or something like that from like a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like polio. What is another one? Smallpox, things like, some of the ones that are polio, some of those different diseases or sicknesses, viruses, if you want to call them that are on like the list, that you may get the thing for. So for some reason, it just sounds like one of those, but I don't know. Maybe it's just been around. Maybe it hasn't been talked about. I don't know. But why is it that, and I've asked this question before, why is it that all of these different illnesses are popping up all of a sudden? You got this crisis going on. This is happening. This is happening. What's really going on? How is all this coming about? Okay. Listen, y'all, that's all that I wanted to bring you tonight. I really appreciate your support. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. If you would like to support the channel, I did pin the Cash App for the channel in the comments right here under the video. I want to say thank you all for your support. Listen, I know I brought you all a lot of information. Again, it's not to scare you, frighten you, cause you to be panic or anything like that. Again, my purpose is sharing the information, okay, so that you can be better educated, be made aware, so that you can make a plan to protect and provide for you and your family, okay? Wow, you know what? Maybe that is where I heard that particular illness from, okay, with the Tuskegee experiment, okay? I need to go back and touch up my memory on that, but thank you so much for sharing that, okay? Listen, y'all, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of your family. Know that your labor is not in vain when it comes to making sure you have your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Make sure you have water. Okay, let me say something. Listen, do y'all have just a few more minutes? I want to say something about water. Let me give you all an update on that. Okay, we need, by it being so hot, people trying to stay cool, you need to get water while it's available and while there are no limits, okay? There is a water crisis. They're saying a global water crisis. Think about this, y'all. If they're having if they're having hot weather all across the country, all across the world, that could potentially have an effect on our water supply, okay? There was one area that I saw that was about to run out of water. Let me see. Let me see if I can just find it very quickly, y'all. I won't. I don't want to hold you much longer because I really appreciate you all staying up with me and getting this information. Let me see where I saw this at. There was a town that was about to run out of water. Okay, let me speak on that. Give me just a minute, y'all. Town. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I may have to talk about it in another video. I know I talked about a city in California, Coalinga. I did a video about them. I can't find it right now, but listen, y'all, please make sure that you get water while it's available, while there are no limits, okay? All it takes is just one crisis, one natural disaster. Think about the things that people will need clean water, drinkable water, water that you can cook with, bathe with. Not only having water, but having a way to filter your water. Okay. Those are things that, some suggestions. Okay. I can't tell you what to do. Just giving you some suggestions. Okay. Thank you all again for supporting the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Please make sure, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching, if you came upon the video and you're not subscribed to the channel, I want to invite you to subscribe, join our community, like this video, share this video. This, I feel like, this is news and information that we all need to know about. Again, it's not headline news. It's not news that's just out there on the forefront, but these are things that are going on. And there are many others. If I were to talk about, if I were to do a video and come on, or even go live and talk about things that are coming, I would be here all day for days. Okay. Please do your research. Thank you to these supporter who asked for the links. I did put some of those there. And thank you so much for your comment about great show. I appreciate you. Okay. Thank you all so much. All right, y'all, listen. Take care. I'm going to be uploading more content to the channel. Please do me this favor, okay? Each day, please make sure that you check the videos tab for my video uploads. You can also check the community tab, the community board. I do upload articles, links there. If you would like to, do more research on the topics that I talk about, I do upload links. I even ask you all poll questions, okay? Right there on the channel. There was a recent poll that I did. Let me see. What was the question that I just last asked you all? I did a poll, and let's see. On the community tab. Okay, I asked the question. What question did I ask? Do you believe that the recent extreme heat waves are due to, and I quote, human-caused global heating? Okay, there's a report that came out. My news article reference was The Guardian, and I asked the question. The question referred to a quote that came from the article in The Guardian, and the question I asked was, do you believe that the recent extreme heat waves are due to, and I quote, human-caused global heating, as referenced by the Guardian article I shared? If you want to go and read that article, I do have it pinned on the community tab. Out of 3 votes, okay, all 3 of you said no, okay? So again, y'all, they want us to believe that the reason why it's so hot, okay, in my area, in Georgia, in your area, where are you all watching from? Please let me know. They want us to believe now, okay, the narrative that's being pushed is that the reason why it's so hot now is because of human-caused global heating, okay? In other words, you're the reason why it's so hot. That's what they want us to believe, y'all. And 3 of y'all, out of three of you all told me you don't believe that, okay? Now, could there possibly be things that we're doing to, I don't know. I really don't know. What am I trying to say? Could there potentially be ways that we're somehow as humans, human race, contributing to global warming? Possibly. I really don't know all the science behind it, honestly. But to see and read about triple-digit temperatures at the same time, again, I'm thinking about the timing, y'all. Triple-digit temperatures all across the world around the same time. Something just don't seem right, okay? Something just doesn't seem right at all, okay? But listen, thank you all so much. Let me know your thoughts, okay? Please check the community tab, the playlist. I have several different playlists. I have a new playlist that I'm putting together to help you all and bring you all more information. Please make sure you check the live tab, okay? This video from tonight will be put under the live tab. Anytime I go live, the platform, it puts all of my live videos under one tab, and check the videos tab, okay? I also have a podcast, Cooking with Andrea Speaks TV, if you want to check out some of my cooking videos and cook a good meal on a budget. Listen, y'all, thank you again for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed. And thank you for supporting me here on Andrea Speaks TV.